Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever heard about LGBT and why is this term coming up? I believe that some of you have known about this term, but maybe some of have not. So, LGBT stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer. What is wrong with LGBT? Actually, there are so many pros and cons when we talk about this term. There are some negative issues and impact that it brings. For example, marriage in the same sex. Is it permitted? No one religions permit this. That is one of issues. Another issue is their existence must be admitted, while most of our society is still considered that their existence is still taboo. So today, I am Talita Fairuz Karimah from MTS Sabri Kendari. I will ask you all to join together and let's save the Indonesian generation from LGBT. Ladies and gentlemen, one of factors that cause this phenomenon is the influence of Westernization. Westernization is the application of Western European practice and culture by peoples and countries in other parts of the world, either through coercion or influence. Westernization spanned large part of the world as part of the colonial process and continues to be a significant cultural phenomenon as a result of globalization. The influence of Westernization on the LGBT phenomenon as the continued development of LGBT cases due to the current of globalization. The existence of social media in this era is also part of globalization. Social media that well known by society such as YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, etc. These media provide information, entertainment, lifestyle shows. They are not only from Indonesia but also from many countries in the world. These social medias are very easy to be accessed and people can spend their times longer to watch them. Therefore, it can be a way to spread and influence their goals to a wide audience. Ladies and gentlemen, we should also know that there are still many countries that do not allow their citizens to practice LGBT. But many countries also allow. Do you know which countries? If you don't know, let me tell you. In Indonesia, there are 1 million gay after 2012. There are even data prediction on the surface that the number of gays in Indonesia is 3% of Indonesia's population. The data is increasing from year to year. We can take an example. In 2012, there were 1 million people who practice LGBT just in Indonesia. Then imagine this. 1 million people is just the total number just in Indonesia. How about the total number of the entire world? If in 2012, 1 million people have done it, you can imagine how it will be in 2013 later. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know that the negative impact of the LGBT phenomenon are numerous? Yeah, the negative impact of the LGBT phenomenon are many and from various sides. According to whole point of view, it can cause HIV/AIDS, cervical cancer, meningitis, or inflammation of the lining of the brain and syphilis. From the education point of view, the risk of dropping out of school for LGBT students is 5 times higher than normal students. The negative impact of LGBT from security or safety point of view is that it can cause sexual harassment occur everywhere. In fact, there are many cases where the abuse occurs in children. From the environment point of view, it can create conflict within a family. It can affect the children in the family. It can damage the nation. It can affect the people around it. So that it divides from the norms. Meanwhile, the negative impact from the physiological point of view is they may not care about sin or norms, feeling pressured by religions or social norms, not following religious rules, vulnerable to stress, having few friends, and distressed by family response. Ladies and gentlemen, now we have known the negative impact of this phenomenon. Therefore, we as a young generation or as a future parent, as a family, as a sister, as a brother, what should we do? We can start from the simple things such as trying to be more religious, maintaining relationship among family members, choosing who became our friend, being a wise person in using technology like social media, filtering all information from social media, or conducting studies or seminars about the dangers of LGBT at school, like so we can know that there is a law or regulation that prohibits the existence of LGBT. So ladies and gentlemen, my public speaking today fits perfectly with the quote that was conveyed by the President of Belarus, Alexander Lukashenko. Better to be the dictator than gay Alexander Lukashenko. It's so dangerous to be the gay according to Alexander Lukashenko. He prefers to be a dictator. So, think about how dangerous it is to be a part of LGBT. My advice to all people, especially young generation, is think carefully before you fall into the wrong hole. I think that's all my public speaking today, and I do hope that everyone who hears this will gain some information. Thank you very much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.